Hello, fellow drawers, how's it going? My name is Valerie, I'm a self-taught digital artist, and I don't know if you know this, but I'm not the only artist on YouTube. Yeah, this platform is in fact inhabited by so many more creative individuals, and isn't that just cool? And I don't know what your feed is like and what YouTube niches you find yourself in, but when I hear the words YouTube artist, this is the image my brain generates. I don't think it's necessary to explain who SamDoesArts is. He's a pretty big guy. I've been following him for quite a long time. He makes good content, and his art is something that I refuse to accept because my brain crashes and goes into a coma every time I see Sam drawing his videos. Our styles are nothing alike, absolutely. I think it's pretty easy to see. His style is very painterly, very quick. If you zoom into any of his pieces, all you will see are blobs. But you zoom out and wow, Jesus Christ. Not gonna lie, whenever I see him draw yet another full-colored portrait landscape illustration in 3 hours, a single tear runs down my face. That gets me every time. Because my drawings take not double, not triple, not quadruple, not 5 times, not 10, but 11 times that. This recent piece took 33 hours. Dude, I mean, well, 33 is my record. I'm quite proud of it. But the average time for my drawings is still like 7 times longer than Sam's. About 20 hours, I'd say. Not 2, unfortunately. Anyways, what are we doing today? You might ask. Well, a couple of weeks ago, Sam made this video where he made his own pause art challenge. In case you don't know what pause art challenge is, it's basically a trend where people make videos with different prompts that flicker on the screen, and you have to pause to see what components you get and then use those pieces to create an original character. There are so many of these with a bunch of different prompts like body type, hairstyle, hair color, eye color, clothes, accessories, and so on. I have already made one pause challenge video before and I loved it so much. It was genuinely so fun and the characters turned out just gorgeous. So I was planning to make another pause challenge video anyways, and when I saw that Sam made his own template, I got so excited. I moved away all of my other stuff and video ideas because who cares about those? And I got right into this. Now, I've already said that my drawings take a while, so I cannot do it the SamDoesArts way and draw live on camera for 40 hours straight. No thank you, I don't want to do that. So I have in fact finished both of my characters already, and I'm not gonna say anything yet. First, let me show you what prompts I got. This is something else. Okay, so for my first spin, I got this kind of skin tone with scars, which looks pretty cool. Then I got snake eyes, which is also pretty cool. Then we got dreadlocks for a hairstyle. Then I got this outfit with black top and black skirt and this pink feather thing. I don't know what that's called. Blue eyes. And elf ears and jewelry. So this was my first spin, but we're making 2 characters today, so let's see the second one. Okay, for the second character, I got this kind of grayish, ghostly zombie skin tone, empty eyes, which I think fits, then just straight hair, which also looks kind of creepy, so I think it also fits really well. And then my finger slipped, but I didn't want to respin because I thought the prompts were pretty cool, and so I just kind of kept going. Maybe that was a mistake, you know? Green eyes. Cool, we're not gonna need that because our eyes are empty. You know, I should have just respawned. The universe was giving me signs. It was warning me. I think I got 2 of the spiciest outfits in this challenge. After some further investigation, I can now confirm that those are in fact the only spicy outfits in this challenge. And I got both of them. Literally, look at the rest of them. They are all normal. And I got these 2. But hey, I'm not the one who put them there. Same. No, I actually don't mind. If life gives you an excuse to draw boobs and butt cheeks, make lemonade. I'll start with the second character, Counter-Strike Ariana Grande. I've got so much to say, man. First of all, it is so cliche. Oh my lord. The sexy girl in a bunny costume, but like, she's cool, cause she's got firearms and she kills people. That's a crazy concept, dude. My mind cannot wrap around it. She's like cute, but like also dangerous? Dude, that's wild. When I will be posting this on my socials, I will make sure to put a giant warning saying like, this was not my idea, please do not unfollow me. I swear this is just a challenge. Blame SamDoesArts. I'll work on the phrasing. Guns. My 41.7% of US viewers, am I right? How I imagine Americans walking down the streets. No, I'm sorry. Put that down. I don't normally draw weapons because number one, weapons are scary and they give me the chills. And number two, they're really hard to draw if you don't know how they work. And I don't know how they work, and hopefully will never have to learn that. And that's why their entire construction doesn't make any sense to me. I think you have to know how guns work in order to be able to draw cool blasters and gun designs. I had to spend like 10 minutes Googling to find out what kind of weapon that is that Sam drew here to find a reference, because this is not very helpful, and it turned out to be an RPG-7 rocket launcher, or rocket gun. So as far as I understand, this is the rocket, and this is the gun. That's about as far as I understand it. She also has a gun strapped to her thigh and something else strapped to her other thigh. The rest I decided to get rid of, so I didn't draw the glasses or the bullet belt or the cigarette because smoking is bad for you. The reason why I didn't want to draw all that is because I felt like, because of the pose I chose, it would look kind of crowded right here. Because she has these bunny ears and glasses would look kind of out of place in my opinion. And also because we got green eye color that we cannot use, I decided to incorporate that green into other parts of the character. So I went with green hair and kind of green tinted skin. Now, I've talked about the debate of drawing unrealistic bodies and sexualized characters in one of my previous videos, and I think I expressed my position pretty clearly. I think it's all fun and cool. Some people can go overboard with it to the point where it stops being aesthetic and sexy and becomes either just nasty and gross or extremely funny. And you have to make sure you're good at anatomy before attempting to draw something sexy. Please, I'm begging you, don't make the mistakes that I've made. You can practice anatomy without putting your characters in spicy poses. Let that wait. Please, it's not worth it. It's not gonna look sexy if your character has a broken back. Nobody's gonna salivate over that. And I know it hurts because when we're constantly horny teenagers and crave those spicy poses the most, that is when our skill does not really match our ambitions yet. And that is sad, I know, but you will get there. And when you get there, you should be too ashamed to draw that either way because your parents follow all of your art accounts. Mom, dad, if you're watching, check out this butt that I drew. Yeah, but I think no matter how modest or explicit you make your art to be, it doesn't really matter because people will find something to criticize you for either way, whether that be safe-face syndrome, sexualization, unrealistic looks, or the lack of inclusivity. Like, oh, why are all your characters the same age, gender, race, body type? And I think for most artists, it's impossible to check all of those boxes. Most of us specialize in something specific. Some people do only draw pretty girls' portraits, and that's okay. That's their thing. I think if drawing a specific theme brings you joy and you don't get tired of it, if it's fun for you, then draw that. The thing is, I don't think anyone has to be inclusive and draw the entire spectrum and range of human looks or whatever that might be. It is not anyone's sole responsibility to bring inclusivity and positivity into the art community. The art community is so diverse on its own, there are so many artists and niches, and every art style is different, and anyone can find something that suits their taste and preferences. Like, you don't go to an artist who draws creepy, dark fantasy horror art and ask them why their drawings are so scary and depressive. Why can't they draw something cute and funny instead? Because if you want some cute, funny art, then there is plenty of that. There are plenty of artists who do that. Or like, I don't like landscapes. They're beautiful, of course, but looking at cool character designs is just way more exciting to me. But I don't go into comments of artists who draw landscapes and ask them to start drawing characters. I just follow artists who specialize in drawing characters. I think that makes life so much easier. I've talked about this case where people on TikTok were bothered by someone who drew their OC really chubby. There were those who are okay with OC being chubby, but were saying that their chubbiness looks unrealistic or sexualized. And there were also ones who weren't okay with OC being chubby and were asking the author why they draw their characters that way. I've gotten comments about my characters looking unrealistic for an opposite reason, being too skinny, and asking why I don't draw chubby characters. And to that I say, I don't know. I mostly draw fan art, and it just so happens that gacha games don't have that many chubby characters. What can I say? I mostly drew characters from the game Cookie Run this year, and out of like 150 characters in this game, maybe 2 of them have a chubby, bigger body type. Like, avocado and raspberry, I think. That's it. I might draw raspberry sometime. I love her design. Avocado, not so sure. Which games have I also fan arted? Genshin? I don't even need to check. Hoyoverse I don't think has a single chubby character in any of their games. I draw characters the way I see them in the game. If I see a character in the game that is skinny, I will draw them skinny. That's it. So I mean, there is no way to win here, no matter if you are or are not being inclusive. There will always be people who don't like your content or your art, and that's fine. Art is extremely subjective, so just draw whatever satisfies your dirty mind. And besides, yes, I think it's really cool when an artist draws a bunch of diverse characters who all look unique and different, short, tall, big, small, young, old. That is impressive. But do you know how much skill it takes to be capable of drawing such a huge range of characters? All ages, from babies to old people, all races, not by simply changing the skin tone, but actually knowing all the anatomical differences in face, hair, and body structure, and being capable of balancing them out in a way that does not look like a caricature, or having the skill to draw the full range from feminine to masculine characters, and knowing how feminine and masculine bodies change depending on their body type, fat, and muscle mass proportions. Dude, that is so much. Give artists a break. Okay. Listen, I'm proud of myself. This took me 14.5 hours total, which is really fast for me. I was always very self-conscious about my booty and boobies drawing skills because I was often struggling to make them look appealing. I think mostly because I was making them too round and didn't know how to shape them better, so they looked really unnatural and stiff. But here I'm actually really happy with this. Her hair looks like slime or putty, you know, like green metallic putty. But when I took a second look at this drawing, I realized it looks exactly like the character I made in my last boss challenge. Look at that. Skin color, hair color, bunny ears. Are you kidding me? That's exactly the same, except last one had a puppy. This one has RPG-7 rocket launcher. Choose your character. Press like if you think they should fight. Let's move on to our second character, and let me quickly remind you what we had. We had this skin with scars, reptile eyes, blue, dreadlocks, this spicy club feather outfit, and elf ears and jewelry. I think elf stuff is a little out of place here, but everything else seems very well coordinated to me. I immediately got a vibe of this cool assassin lady in a bar or a casino where the mafia boss hangs out and she's spying on him. I've never drawn dreadlocks before, so I was very excited when I got them here. And this feather thing, in case you're wondering, I used this swordgrass brush. It's a default brush in Procreate. It's not ideal, but I couldn't find anything better, and I definitely didn't want to draw this thing by hand, so I'm okay with it. It just makes this thing look really cheap, like it's made of plastic strips that cheerleaders' pom-poms are made of, you know? Assassins don't get paid well these days. That will explain a martini glass in her hand. Times are tough. My god, SamDoesArts would hate my workflow. He would hate it because I've seen him review someone else's work and being like, huh? Oh my god, how long did you spend on that line art? Like 2 hours? That was funny, but also I died inside. 2 hours, I wish. My sketches take 2 hours and they look like this. His art is very rough, very loose, and mine is super precise and clean. Every brush stroke is intentional and has its own place, and plus of course my works are heavily line art reliant. You turn off my line art, you get this. And you know what? That's fine and cool. And I always state how many hours the drawing took me, and I often get comments saying that they actually appreciate that I do that, and that makes them feel less anxious about the pace of their drawing, because they see that drawings can take a hell a long time to complete, and some people draw slower than others. Some have simpler styles, and they can indeed pump out 10 drawings a week when you can only do one. And sometimes, if you look at it from the content creator point of view, which nowadays, if you want to be a successful artist, you kind of have to be a content creator as well, because we all post our art online and the algorithm is brutal. And if you look at it like that, then yeah, it can definitely seem unfair that just because you have a more detailed, complex art style, you can only make one drawing a week, when others can make 10 and therefore get more content and exposure because they just make more stuff. I'm still kind of struggling to deal with that from time to time, because per se right now I am trying to work every day for at least 8 hours, but I don't have a consistent schedule, so it can be 5 hours today, then 11 hours next day, then 0 hours because I'm tired and I want to take a day off, and then 11 hours hours again. And I don't mind that. I love doing everything I'm doing so it doesn't even feel like work, especially drawing. Video editing does get tedious sometimes because just looking at my own face for 10 hours straight pisses me off, and hearing myself say the same 5-word sentence like 10 times to get a good take because my tongue keeps twisting, and then I waste another 30 seconds of footage just sitting like this. Yeah, so now making one drawing takes me the same time as making one video, pretty much, so I cannot afford to make more than one drawing a week. Logistically, there is no way for me to do that. And I'm not even posting videos once a week, it's once every 10 or 14 days or so, because I also have to write a script, which takes a full day or two. I also have to make short form content and post all of that, and that takes so much time, like way too much time. And that is my least favorite thing to do. That feels like work. Because I hate social media, and that feels the most social media-y, and I have to go on social media to post it, and sometimes you get sucked in and start scrolling, and when that happens, I just feel awful afterwards. But most times I just try to post it, schedule posts for like 5 days ahead, and log off immediately. I almost never go on Instagram or YouTube Shorts willingly, only if I need to research or post something. So I'm sorry, but on this channel we are always late to trends and art talk drama, but that is because we prioritize our mental health. But seriously, if it's a choice between TikTok drama awareness and slowing down my brain rotting and attention span decreasing, I'm choosing the latter, and you should too. I've seen the news somewhere, I don't know if that's 100% true, but I think it was Crunchyroll, and it said that they were thinking about making anime episodes shorter, because apparently a 20-minute episode is already too much for Gen Alpha, and they cannot watch it till the end. They get bored and distracted halfway through and click off. But man, what? No! The solution is not to make anime episodes shorter. What the fuck? That does not solve the issue. No, delete TikTok. Press that big red button that will explode the TikTok servers over the world. I'm sure that exists. Or at the very least, delete like Likey and all the short form content for kids. That should absolutely be illegal. Did you see what's going on there? First of all, I think kids younger than 12 should not be allowed on social media, period. I won't even ask if you agree with me, because if you don't, you're weird. Or you're a kid. Kids should not be on social media. They can have phones for communication, sure. They can chat with friends and parents. WhatsApp exists. Other messengers exist that do not have any sort of built-in version of TikTok in them. Obviously, I do realize that it is probably irreversible now, because kids are already so attached to this crazy content consumption. And I see that in my own younger brothers. I've got 3 of them. 1 brother and 2 cousins. All about the same age, 8 to 11 years old. We see each other like twice a year, so don't worry, I'm fine mentally. And I asked my brother about Jujutsu Kaisen because I saw he had Gojo on his wallpaper, and I asked like, oh, how long have you been watching it? And he was like, well, about 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, okay, what season are you on? How many episodes have you watched? And he said 5, which is not too bad. He could have said 1, but man, that was so like funny and crazy to me. 5 episodes in 2 weeks. For me, a 24 episode anime is a 1-day thing. That's only 8 hours. That's a fun anime I found for the weekend. Because if the anime is good and Jujutsu Kaisen is really good, then I'm hooked. I'm invested. I cannot just watch 1 episode and go do something else. I don't want to. I will bring my iPad everywhere I go. I will watch it while I brush my teeth, while I cook, while I eat, while I draw. That becomes my biggest interest and priority for the day. And they just don't do that. They're not invested in anything. I'm not just saying that. I saw that with my own eyes. Even the way they play games. They have like 50 different games on their iPads that they play simultaneously, and they constantly download new ones that they play for 5 minutes. They're not invested in them at all. They're just tapping. Sometimes they don't even care to figure out how the game works. I know I sound like, kids these days, but I just remember when I got my first mobile device and started exploring mobile games, I always had like 5 games that I played, max. And those were all different games for different purposes, you know? I always had one farm game, like My Singing Monsters, The Tribes, Heyday. Then I had some running game, like Subway Surfers or Temple Run. I had a time killer game, like Doodle Jump, Helix Jump, Jelly Jump. I had Sudoku or some other puzzle brain game, and Minecraft. obviously. And when I played a game, I was really invested in that game. I had goals, I had everyday missions to do, I had some record I wanted to beat, or a new skin or character I wanted to save up my coins for. I was serious about it. I've never donated a single cent into any game in my life. Never ever. Because that's not cool. If you just buy it, that's not cool. It doesn't make you cool in the game. What's the point of that? I wanted to earn it. I wanted to do it myself, even if saving up for that character would take a week or even a month. But you know that when you actually get that character, it will be so worth it. It will feel so good because you earned it. You did it yourself. But those kids, they just don't care about the game at all. If they want something, they just ask their parents for money and buy it and then forget about it the next day. And that is lame. That is not cool. Okay, enough complaining about kids. Let's look at our lady. This piece is so packed with textures like feathers, latex, dreadlocks, martini glass. I love that martini glass, it looks so good. I think I did a good job with it. And textures are not my strongest skill because I need to have a clear algorithm and structure for drawing stuff. I need it to be as rational as possible. But most textures really don't have any kind of structure to them. They don't make any sense. All reflective surfaces like shiny metals, glass, water, those don't make any sense to me. I kind of made them make some sense in my head, but I'm still very stiff with drawing them. I often look at SamDoesArts drawings and he's so good with textures, man, especially those reflective ones like water. Did you see how he draws water? Or glass or armor? That's so cool. And he doesn't need to rationalize those textures because he's a painter. He just makes blobs and blobs make water. How do blobs do that? How do blobs make water? Why do his blobs make water and mine don't? Anyway, I'm pretty happy with this character. She took me 15 hours. I think she would fit into a cyberpunk universe. She looks really cool. But for some reason it all kind of feels stiff to me. Maybe because it was my first experience drawing dreadlocks and maybe I could have styled them differently to make the hairstyle more dynamic and interesting. Or maybe the pose is just basic, I don't know. It just feels stiff. But I like it. Here are both of my characters. I feel like maybe they could even be from the same universe. They kind of have a similar vibe. And these outfits, they force you into a really good anatomy workout. Yeah, so that was pretty much it for SamDoesArts' Pause Art Challenge. Thank you, Samuel, for providing us with this piece of entertainment. I think it was really fun. I love the prompts that he made. Tell me which of these characters you think turned out better. Have you tried this pause challenge yet? And if so, how did it go? Also, there are 60,000 of you guys. Thank you so much. It is so sweet to see all your love and support and get feedback about my art and my content, and seeing more and more new people come and discover my channel every day is so exciting. And like, I'm so overwhelmed right now because there is so much stuff I want to do. There are so many ideas I have for drawings and videos and other stuff, but everything just takes so long, so I have to choose. But I'm beyond grateful to have this platform where I can share my thoughts and art and maybe help someone with their art struggles. That is insanely cool, and thank you all once again. And also, I wanted to try and do some sort of interactive video format where I could review your guys' works, giving some simple art critiques slash fixing mistakes sort of stuff, redrawing your characters in my style. But I don't have a Discord server or anything like that where you could just dump all of your works into, so I thought maybe we could do it via Instagram. You can use this hashtag that I will come up with while editing if you want to participate and sacrifice your drawings to me, but I'll just say that I'm not sure what kind of video that will be yet or when I will be making it. I'm just kind of testing the waters to see if this is something that you would actually want to see and participate in. So yeah, let me know. I will also probably make a post in my community tab where you can vote and I can gather your opinions about this idea and this format. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, then press like, subscribe. I have other drawing and talking videos like this on my channel, as well as some tutorials that you might find useful, so you can go watch those if you want. Or if you just want to look up the art that I make, then you can check it out on Instagram, Kara, or here on YouTube Shorts. And good night, good day, goodbye. I have been trying to record this video for 4 hours because my neighbors up there have been hammering the floors the entire day, like all day long. They have been just hammering the fucking floors. The amount of times I was on the verge of tears.